The rise and fall of Theranos. In 2014, Theranos was worth $9 billion. Its founder was called a genius, a visionary. The next Steve Jobs. She promised something revolutionary, a future where just a few drops of blood could reveal everything about your health. Hospitals were interested. Pharmacies signed deals. Investors poured in hundreds of millions, but behind the headlines, behind the applause, the truth was very different. 4 years later, the company collapsed. And in 2022, its founder was convicted of fraud. This is the story of belief, ambition, and deception. In 2003, a 19-year-old college student named Elizabeth Holmes left Stanford University. She said she didn't want a degree. She wanted to change the world. Her idea sounded almost magical. Instead of large needles and tubes of blood, just one tiny finger prick, a small machine called the Edison would run hundreds of tests, faster, cheaper, easier. It sounded like the future. Investors believed in her. Powerful former government officials joined her board. The media called her a prodigy. But belief is not proof, and ambition is not science. By 2013, Theranos partnered with Walgreens. Blood testing centers opened inside real stores. Customers walked in with hope. They trusted the results. The media celebrated Holmes. She wore black turtlenecks, spoke in a deep, controlled voice. She built an image. But inside the company, something was wrong. Employees began to worry. The machines were unreliable. Tests failed. Results were inconsistent. So the company quietly used traditional lab equipment instead. The revolutionary device wasn't ready. But the story continued, and the valuation climbed to $9 billion. On paper, Elizabeth Holmes was worth billions. In reality, the technology still didn't work. In 2015, a journalist named John Carreyrou started asking questions. He spoke to former employees. He investigated quietly. Then he published a report in the Wall Street Journal. It revealed something shocking. The machines were not accurate. The company had exaggerated its claims. Internal warnings had been ignored. Suddenly, the image began to crack. Government regulators stepped in. Thousands of test results were canceled. Officials said the company posed serious risks to patients. Walgreens ended its partnership. Investors panicked. Trust, once unbreakable, began to disappear. By 2018, Theranos was collapsing. Employees were laid off, offices emptied, the dream was fading. Then came the charges. Elizabeth Holmes and her business partner were accused of fraud. Prosecutors said she misled investors, overstated revenue, overpromised technology, overstretched the truth. In 2022, she was found guilty. She was sentenced to more than 11 years in prison. A company once worth $9 billion was gone. Theranos was not just one company's failure. It exposed something deeper, a culture that celebrates vision over verification, a system that rewards bold promises, a world where a compelling story can attract billions. The company raised over $700 million, much of it based on belief. Not proof, not evidence. Belief. Theranos did not collapse overnight. It collapsed slowly as truth caught up with ambition. In business, big ideas can inspire, but when the story grows faster than the science, when belief replaces validation, the fall becomes inevitable. Because leverage amplifies everything, including illusion. And when illusion reaches billions, the collapse is never small.